I tried to leave Montreal so many times, I couldn't do it. There's some sort of addiction here. I don't know what it is.
What was preventing you from going?
This, all of this, summer, Saint Viateur, friends, picnics, coffees, the mountain, you know, the little things that make the daily part of our lives that are very charming in Montreal.
Hi, welcome to Quelque Show, the bilingual soapbox for Montrealers. My name is Rosalind, soon to be Dragon Mother.
And I'm Paul Shore. When's the last time a media personality or politician asked you your opinion about anything?
Every week, Quelque Show will be coming to you from different parts of our fine city to bring you the voices of our people.
We wanted to give everyday Montrealers the opportunity to rant, to debate, to have authentic connections, to laugh, to cry even, and to discuss those things we rarely talk about in public.
So welcome and thank you for listening.
You come here after so many years, you get used to the place.
Yeah.
As somebody, you know, once I listened to a TV a long time ago, and they were talking to this scientist, Iranian, that he lives in LA, and he's in some kind of a space agency, and he said, once we become as an egg, then we become after a while, we become omelette.
Yeah.
Once you become omelette, you can never become egg no more. And that's pretty much the reality of the whole thing.
It's gonna be weird, but my parents met in Saudi Arabia because they get work permit there, so they don't pay for anything but their food. So my mom is a nurse and my dad is a mechanic there. So they met there, and I was born in Saudi Arabia. So then I got shipped to Philippines, and then Philippines, the life there is not so as great as here. So then I came here to get a better life.
Do you feel like you're connected to your identity, or do you feel like you don't belong anywhere?
I feel like I'm more Filipino than Lebanese because I grew up in the Philippines, and then when I came to Canada, then I went 2 years in Lebanon just to visit around in my other countries. But at the same time, like I grew up more my lifetime here, so I feel more Canadian because I grew up here.
I think the more you stay here, then you start looking for your identity. At the beginning is to do your studies, to have a job, to have a life. But then after you achieve all that, then you realize, they still can't pronounce my name.
Do you know what your background is?
My background?
Like you're not Jewish, are you?
No.
Are you sure?
One is never sure of what one's background is when you go back 4.5 million years. As I'm sure you already know, they found the first fossil remains of a human being in this territory we now call Ethiopia, long before it was Ethiopia. They call her Lucy here. We call her Denkenesh in Ethiopia. And so, how far do you want to go back? I think we're a mixture of everything. But, growing up in Montreal and being raised in Montreal and growing up especially in Côte d'Ivoire in the 80s, where you grew up with Italians, Greeks, Jamaicans, Asians, Vietnamese, that's not what's missing there, Filipinos. You have a different sensibility. Cambodians, you have a big different sensibility. So I'm at the point now after, 30 years, 40 years of being here, of showing you a picture of the globe and saying this is my country and the people that live here are my fellow citizens. I think the days where, you could see it in big business where there's multinationals. Why can't we be multinationals as citizens as well? Why can't we extend our borders to this planet that we all belong to? This is a land of immigrants. And the only thing that's required is for us to make an effort to get along and try to understand each other so we can forge a future that is beneficial to all of us. And it's more than wishful thinking. There's a lot of beautiful people here that has inspired me to be who I am today. Teachers, people like you guys who just stop you in the middle of the street and go, hey, you feel like we're in an interview? So it's like, it's good. You never know what's going to happen.
I didn't have any idea what it was going to be like, basically. And
You didn't have any pictures in your head?
no, I had pictures in my head, but it wasn't it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
It was gray. It was not sunny. It was not very beautiful.
You went to a crappy part of Toronto?
Yeah, I went to a crappy part of Toronto. I don't know. It was just not, and it's the new immigrant experience. It's not beautiful and colorful, you know. It's just you're dealing with integrating and not knowing the language and the culture, and your parents going through the transition and everything. So it wasn't like going abroad and having a vacation, you know. That's what I had pictured, basically.
I tell people, if I was able to go and learn both languages with 2 children on my hand, anybody else can do it.
No regrets at all. I like this place a lot.
What
Not a lot better, but for one thing, I turned drinking age moving here. The other thing, this is a lot more. Someone asked me recently what the difference between Vancouver and Montreal are.
Tell us.
It like simple, some nature, culture. That would be like the basic thing. Plus, this city is like 400 years old. Vancouver's 100 years old. This has had like time to brew itself some personality and some character. And Vancouver has to an extent, but it's still kind of like immature in a community sense. Like there's still a lack of like social cohesion, and like people are still a little like socially rigid, not comfortable with themselves in a certain way.
I feel like it's a way for the public to take back their space, which has been overrun by corporate ads and just kind of junk stuff, kind of like ads on TV or in the newspaper. Just, you know, it's a way for community of artists to speak to each other and interact, and for the public to like kind of just get a feeling of the culture and the people around them. Because what's happening with ads and everything, it's not a reflection of the people, it's a reflection of people in positions to make a lot of money.
So give me a quick 3 minutes. Talk to me about under pressure in public art. Why is public art so important to our community?
3 minutes. It's not just about institutions, boards of directors, who you know, the names and this and that. It's not about that. It's about actually getting out there. And graffiti and street art is one of the interesting forms of art that if you're not going to give somebody a chance, they're just going to go make their chance for themselves. And they're not going to paint in a studio. They're not going to paint it and no one ever sees it. They're not going to wait for somebody to hang it in a gallery or space. They're going to go put it out there. They're going to go put it out there as they learn. They're going to evolve and get better, but they're going to do it while sharing it with the public. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes in the right places, sometimes in the wrong places.
How important is it to have public art?
Primordial. It is a priority.
What does it mean to you?
It means connecting. Art that have been produced to be seen without entering into a gallery or into a specific community is art for the people, is art to be analyzed, to be questioned about, to debate the meaning, the messages. But I do think it is important to keep the movement of the collective introspection and collective research of where we are going as a humanity. It's always been a tool for societies to question, to express, to share, to bring love and peace to their community. So power to the people with art, with colors, with music, with good vibrations.
Hi, my name's Future Laser Now, and you're watching Quelque show.